Hello everyone and welcome back to WolfQuest, and we are here, right here actually, right at this den, with Aurora and Borealis, and they are about to mark their territory. But before we do that, I do want to say and do something, because Aurora's challenge is that she has to, every day when she has puppies, visit Little Butte to gather moss. Now, not exactly the most realistic challenge in the world, but it's an interesting one, and so sometimes we do stretch the bounds of realism just a little bit, although we do try to stay within some level of plausibility. But let's get Borealis' name on as well. But we actually were going to do that at the end of the last episode, and we didn't do it. But because it was such a weird episode where we were winter hunting for 2 wolves and for both packs and for all of that, I think we're going to go ahead and do it at the beginning of the episode, because technically we don't have puppies yet, and then the next time we have a litter with Aurora, we'll make sure we do it right away. Reason being that because technically her story is supposed to span 3 episode arcs, just like Knight's will and has, unless we end up running overtime into an extra Saturday episode, and that was technically some weird bonus little episode that was covering both packs. And because of that, we're gonna still go ahead and go to the Little Butte and gather moss, so that she doesn't lose that ability, or she doesn't lose the ability to have her puppies grow stronger by the journey, just because of one weird episode there. So we're going to go ahead and do that, because technically her puppies haven't been born yet, and basically that's the goal, is to do it before the puppies are born, and then we're going to have the chance to do it once while we have them, and then it'll be the journey probably. So let's get across the water here. With that said, though, I have already rolled for today, and I will go into more detail on that a little bit later. First of all, though, we have to run up to Little Butte here and gather some moss to line the den. So we'll make sure we do that. It's not too hard at the moment, thankfully, but until we get the puppies, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult to cut away from the den for that long. So let's come over here. We'll just say we have to get up to the top of it. Probably I didn't have a specific spot in mind when I wrote the challenge, so we'll just make it to the top here. What is that? That's just a log, right? We'll just make it to the top here, and say she was able to gather some moss from the trees up here. And then we'll head back to the den and finish marking the territory so we can have the puppies. So let's go back. That shouldn't take us too long. And one of the scariest parts about playing with Aurora is she has basically no protection. If anything, she's at a disadvantage compared to the other wolves, because her challenge could cause her to lose puppies. And with that in mind, I mean, most of the other wolves don't have that, and on top of that, she has no way to rescue puppies from predators or anything like that, so she is very much at a disadvantage. And in a way, I guess that does make her story all the more powerful, because if her pups manage to survive, then it's an even more against the odds story, which will be interesting, but it is kind of scary playing as her, because there's no fallback. If something happens, that's it. There's no second chance. So let's go ahead. The only time we would remotely have a second chance is if a druid wolf showed up here, or if a cougar showed up here. The druid wolf showing up here is a very, very rare possibility, and it would only apply to the distinctively white and red druids that we see from time to time, but we have seen them up here before, so it is technically possible, but highly unlikely. And the other one being, in case of a cougar attack, we have a 50% chance that is completely left up to random dice roll, so there's no guarantee that any of those conditions will even be met, and it's a little bit frightening. I am definitely apprehensive going into this, but it's going to be a very interesting story. Alright, let's see, let's make sure we get the territory marked here, and we will head up this way. This den we were actually just at this den with Lightfall too, and it does tend to have a lot of cougars, so that ability may come in handy here. And that's right, if we see any foxes too, we have to chase them off, because that is the annual challenge for this year. So let's head up here. And 70, 73, 74, 75, alright. I think we have to get to like 90 or 95 for it to bring us to to the puppies here. So let's see. Here we go. All right. There we go. Oh, here we go. All right. So we have our puppies, and I'm actually going to pause here and be back in just a moment. All right, we are back. So I said I would explain when a little bit later, and now is the time. And is it raining? It actually is. So right now, basically what happened was I went to roll for the day, and on the very first day we've had so far, we rolled a freezing day. And I was completely in shock. I was not expecting it to happen this soon. That's only a 1 in 6 chance. And so already, even though it's the first day, I decided to roll. And the reason I decided to let Aurora go to Little Butte is because out of the 4 puppies, 3 of them rolled, well, 2 of them rolled 4s, 1 rolled a 6, and 1 rolled 1. And regardless of having a bonus from gathering moss or not, any puppy that rolls a 1 is automatically dead. So unfortunately we did lose a puppy already, and I couldn't believe it on the first day of all days that this would happen. But we did lose a puppy, but thankfully the other 3 are safe, and we're going to say that Aurora did manage to gather some moss so that she can still potentially get the bonus on the journey. The reason that I ended up doing that was because it wasn't like the puppy rolled a 3 or a 2 or any number that, oh, if we gathered the moss, suddenly it could save the puppy. None of the puppies rolled those numbers. It was the only one who died was the one who rolled a 1. So because of that, it wouldn't have mattered if we gathered moss or not. The puppy would have still died. So I did decide to let Aurora go gather the moss anyway. So it's an unfortunate fact of life, but we are already down to 3 puppies, and we're going to go ahead and meet them now. So we have 3 puppies. Where is one? Where is one? All right, we are missing someone. Are we? Oh. I apologize for not being able to give him a proper introduction right off the bat there. My phone decided to cut me off. But yeah, so we have 3 puppies. We have Quartz, we have Storm, and we have Trot. Quartz and Storm are both gray, and Trot is a sort of brownish, reddish color. And hopefully we can keep these guys alive. We're going to have to make sure we go gather moss. We'll have to do it again by the end of this episode here, so probably do it when we go to gather food, but I want to make sure we get, that we get the pack affinity up before we do that, because it's good to start progressing, and by that time we will have to defend them, so it's likely a predator will show up in the meantime, and then we'll be able to defend. So let's make sure here, I think one more howl should do it. If we can get the others, Quartz is deciding not to join in, but if we can get everybody else to howl, yes. So that should complete the mission. It should. We might be just a few points off. There we go. Okay, so now we have to keep watch. And man, it's already storming. Oh man, I can't believe we've had already so much, like, this is the first time we've ever lost a pup within the first episode, I believe. And especially it being due to Aurora's challenge, that is a little scary, I'm not going to lie. It is a very, very dangerous challenge. She does have a lot to overcome, but hopefully she will be able to raise these 3 safely to adulthood. So we're going to run across the river here. We kind of missed the crossing, and make our way back to the Little Butte and gather up some more of our moss for the next day so that it won't dry out and become useless anymore. So that will protect us for tomorrow. It'll drop the chance of any puppy dying down to 1 of 6 for each pup if we do happen to roll a freezing day. So it's It's unlikely we'll roll 2 in a row, but given that we rolled one on our first day, it's certainly not impossible, and it is a bit of a scary thought. So we have come up here, we've gathered the moss, and we're going to head back. We're going to grab some more pup food on the way. And this is why, right now we're playing on challenging, this is why Aurora has the ability to play her last year on arduous instead of bring it on, because you can see how much already the puppy's health has gone down just from us venturing out here. It was already a little bit low, but it's definitely gone down since then. So we're going to need to feed them again very, very soon here, and I just don't think it'd be possible to run all the way out to Little Butte every day with on Bring It On. It's just, there's like no time to leave your puppies with that. So that is why she gets to play her last year on arduous. So we're going to eat from this carcass. I don't want to eat too much from this carcass because this is going to be a journey carcass, but we will eat a little bit from it. And we'll go up here. Hopefully all goes well, and I probably will start Aurora's litters like this. I'll skip the naming process for her puppies. Just a heads up, I will start doing the transitions for her like I did just now. And something's going to be up here. Something is going to be up here. I don't know. Oh, it's a coyote. It's a coyote. Better that than a bear, but nevertheless, still not something we want to mess around with. So let us go here and take out the coyote. Alright. I must confess, I'm not necessarily... I'm still a little bit in shock because I can't believe this happened within the first episode. I was not expecting her challenge to take effect potentially until the next litter even, because it's a 1 in 6 chance that we rolled that already is extremely unlikely. And so I'm a little bit in shock from that still, I must confess. I was not expecting things to go this way. And I was expecting her to have more of a chance right from the start, but now I'm legitimately worried for her. So we'll come up here and we'll mark some territory as we go. It's always good to keep that territory marked. Let's make sure we get this this quadrant full as well. If we back up here, is this not quite? Not quite. Not quite. Why? There. Alright. So that should let us get this one filled up. And then we can run over here and fill the others. We definitely want to keep those up as well, although maybe it wouldn't be so bad if a stranger wolf spawned, although we couldn't guarantee it'd be druid anyway. And they're very difficult to chase off. We may move from the Bison Peak Cutoff Den in a future years, because first of all, Night will eventually be going to the saddle, or not the Saddle Meadows, but the Creek Den, and so we could move Aurora down there without a huge amount of redundancy. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons we could do that. Oh boy. Oh boy, that's fun. And it's gonna run, of course it is. Are we able to chase it down as Aurora? Because Aurora is definitely fast. Whoa, not if it turns like that. If we can catch it, whoa! It's running all over the place. I think we're just gonna run back to the den and wait for it to return, because it will. And we'll feed these guys for the time being. Just a little bit. I don't want to use up too much food. I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The one good thing about having less puppies is less mouths to feed. It does make things easier, although it does not. It's never a good thing. Sometimes it can mean the difference between success and failure when it comes to, excuse me, cougar, when it comes to raising puppies safely. Quartz, no. Quartz, no. All right, we're not gonna let this happen again. All right, Quartz, I need you to stay back. All right, there we go, got it. All right, now we're gonna run off to a carcass. They're not, if you can time it right and you can deal with it right, they're very, you can deal with them. It's doable. It's definitely doable, but that doesn't mean it's not scary. and it can still be pretty difficult. And it does take a lot out of your wolf's health, which is not so great when you're trying to maintain a good carcass population nearby. We're leaving this one alone for the time being because we don't really want to. How much is even left on this? Not much. Have you been eating all of it, Borealis? Probably. So let's see. Hopefully these guys, they're not really all that hungry yet, but it's good to have our food and such all the way up. Still can't get over Quartz walking straight towards the cougar. How many pups have we had that have done that and led to catastrophe practically because they've done that? Oh, and Borealis has decided to feed them as well. Is he going to go get food? Hopefully. We basically are just waiting around for another predator to show up at this point. We'll maybe go and do another zealous territory marking here. Just make sure that everything is alright down here and give another predator some time to spawn. Let's see here. Hopefully everything is okay. I'm legitimately scared though, you guys. It's not even on the harder levels yet, and I'm legitimately scared. I guess I've gotten kind of used to having an extra layer of protection when it comes to having the puppies. I'm used to having extra chances and a little bit of a fallback in the event that the untold does happen. But here, there really isn't. And with Aurora's challenge, no matter how well you do with actually taking care of these guys, it's still completely possible it's still completely and totally possible for them to die, and without much warning at all. Did that do it? That did it. Okay. It's stuck on the den. But it's still possible that for them to die, even if you're perfect in chasing off the predators and making sure all that is taken care of, it's still completely possible for something to happen. Which I guess is true even in real-world wolves, because they may be great parents, but you never know when something like some sort of illness or a weather change or something is going to happen. Even if they manage to fight off all the predators, it does reflect the harsh reality that not very many wolf pups make it to adulthood. There's a reason that so many of them are born. It's a harsh reality that most of them are probably not going to make it. And it is a sad, but it's reality. Oh my gosh, that's a coyote. How about nope? How about we deal with this before he goes after our pups? I don't know where he went. Okay, he went over there. Let's see, there we go. It's a lot easier to not track him in scent view, because, well, scent view does show you where he's gone. If he crosses his tracks, it does get confusing pretty fast. So let's head over here. There's another coyote on top of the den. And we should be almost done with chasing off predators now. We've chased off quite a few in this episode. And maybe if we get lucky, we'll finish that off this episode. And, there we go. Maybe we'll get lucky and not have to go into next episode with that. And just be able to focus on growing our pups and then eventually getting started on the journey. There's not normally much chance that we make the journey in one episode, but sometimes it does happen. But even so, yeah, I think we're gonna get to the journey before, I think we're gonna get to the journey on Wednesday. I don't think it's gonna last for several other episodes. These carcasses are getting very depleted. I think we need to go hunt, because we are running out of food, believe it or not. And when it gets to the Grow Your Pups mission, that's going to be... Why is one of the puppies so much hungrier than the others? I'm a little confused and slightly concerned. Where's the elk herd? There should be an elk herd here. There should be an elk herd here. Oh, I hear them. I hear the music at least. Alright, let's come on. We gotta hunt quickly. We don't want to waste time here. So let's separate one off from the herd. And then we'll go this way. And, oh, yeah, last Friday, WolfQuest was showing off their new elk models. Oh my goodness. They're actually more furry now, too. And they have, I think they have an adolescent male as well. And then they showed off the calf model too, because that's something that's going to be coming in for the Tower Fall version. They're going to add calves as well, because that's the time when a lot of the large prey animals in Yellowstone have their calves. And we really need to get back up there, don't we? Because one of our puppies is quite hungry. I'm not sure who that is. I think that might be Quartz, but I'm not positive. So we've got to go ahead and kill this elk down here. Just make sure we have a little extra food. Never hurts to have extra. It's better to have too much than too little. And let's come back over here, and then we'll run back to the pups. And hopefully we have our last predator to chase off up there right now. I hope at least. So let's come here. And there's a bear. Okay. Bears are scary, but if you can attack them from behind like this, they're not nearly as scary, and you can even come at them from the front in the beginning. Okay, Storm's okay. It is Quartz. Oh my goodness, Quartz. You scared me. You scared me a bit there. I was getting a little concerned. Alright. I think we're going to go ahead and, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the episode here for today, but we will be back with these guys on Wednesday. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.